Hey everybody, today we're going to do a video using the Ecoflow Max and we're going to be cooking Spam Musubi. So I've got 2 cups of rice in a Instant Pot Duo. It's a 6-quart. I've already got the rice in there. I've already got it washed. I'm going to turn on the Ecoflow on the AC. And I'm doing 2 cups of rice in the Instant Pot, so I'm going to set it to sealing, and I'm doing a high pressure cook for 7 minutes. That'll get started soon here. And right away, the Instant Pot is using 600 watts on the unit here and the kilowatt meter. And this is usually a 1,000-watt appliance, but the Ecoflow uses X boost, and what it does is it drops the voltage. I can change that here. Instead of 120 volts, it's putting out 91.9 volts, which allows the Instant Pot to still run, but only at 600 watts. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to do the same job that it will do if it was getting the full 1,000 watts. So we're gonna know how long that takes here and get an idea of how much that uses. We're at 1 minute on our timer, and we'll come back a little bit later once the rice is started to heat up our skillet to fry up some of the Spam. Okay. It has been 13 minutes according to the kilowatt. 13 minutes since we got started. The pressure is set on the Instant Pot for the rice. It's probably going to start counting down here any minute. We've used now 21% of our battery, and that's going to be equivalent to 0.13 kilowatt hours. This unit is just shy of 600 milliamp hours. It looks like the Instant Pot's about done because I just saw the heater kick off on it. But that's about right for how much energy it takes to make this much rice, based off of other times I have tested this. I still don't have this skillet on at all. I'm not going to turn this one on till much later when we're ready to fry the Spam. So yeah, you see the Instant Pot is starting to turn on and off. It's at about the right temperature it needs to be now, and very soon it's gonna stop using power almost altogether. Yeah, you can see it's getting very close. There we go. So 7 more minutes. It needs to cook, and then after that 7 minutes, I'm gonna wait about 10 minutes before I release the pressure. So we're gonna come back after the rice is close, and we're gonna turn on our skillet. And I don't really anticipate very much more power usage from the rice, but we'll see how things change. It's about 15 minutes in, and we got 120 volts because we're using no watts at the moment. Alright, 15 minutes. We'll see where we're at later. Alright, our rice counted all the way down to 0 here. It used a little bit more power. Let me show you the time we're at. We've used 0.15 kilowatt hours. This is the capacity. So that's lining up pretty good if this is almost a 600 watt unit, kilowatt or milliwatt unit. 22 minutes in, the rice is going to start counting up at about 10 minutes. That's when that rice is going to be done. So we're going to start heating up the skillet here in just a couple of minutes, because this skillet honestly only needs about a minute to heat up, and the Spam does not need very long to cook. So here's where we're at. We got a couple more percent used, a few minutes, and if I remember, I don't think there's going to be any more power used out of the Instant Pot. This is a 800 watt appliance, which is going to only do 600 watts because of X boosts on the Ecoflow here. But even if this and the Instant Pot both come on, it's going to drop the voltage very low. We'll see if it does. It's going to drop the voltage very low to power them both, and basically give them both about 300 watts each. Or maybe they both, since it's dropping the voltage, it's actually they're both gonna get a percentage of what they would normally use. So because that uses more watts than this, the voltage drops. This is still gonna have more watts than this because it's gonna get more amps. If I had enough meters, I could show all the numbers, but just, you gotta trust me on that one. Alright, it's been a few more minutes. The rice cooker, or the Instant Pot here, hasn't used any more power. I'm going to turn on my skillet. This one goes up to 425 degrees. It seems to be hard to find skillets that go above 400, or some cases even 375. But this one gets nice and hot. It doesn't take very long to heat up. It normally uses about 800 watts. But here we're using 600 watts because of the X boost, which drops our voltage to 107 volts instead of 120. I'll show you that again. I'm going to turn it off. We got 120 volts, and when I turn it on, it drops the voltage down to 100 and about 108. But it's still using 600 watts. We're looking at our total consumption again on here, 0.16 kilowatt hours. Many of the batteries that you'll find out there, like the Jackery 1000, there's many 1 kilowatt hour units out there, so this gives you a good idea of how much power it's going to take. If your unit's a 1 kilowatt hour, this is going to be about, well, 16%. Assuming you have pretty good battery health and efficiency of the inverter, you're never going to get 100% of what your battery capacity says. But this is heating up pretty nicely. And we're going to turn the Instant Pot off, vent that out. And this one is almost hot enough for us. Check out our rice. Oh yeah, that looks great. Perfect. I'm just going to put the lid on and keep that warm for now. let's see. There we go. This is all the way up to temperature now. We're gonna get a nice sear on these. And that'll do. Alright. We're at 0.2 kilowatt hours consumed. The goal of what we're doing here today is to use the least amount of power. So this is why I keep showing this kilowatt hour. I'm not so concerned about how many watts this uses or that uses. I'm really trying to make food with the least amount of power. If you're going to take one of these units with you camping or in a blackout at your house, whatever you're doing with it, you want to conserve your power. Yeah, we can use solar panels to recharge these things, but ultimately, if you're not cooking efficiently with them, they're not going to last. So I found the Instant Pot to be a very efficient way to cook, and these built-in electric appliances to be very efficient too, where the thing you're heating is the same thing you're cooking on. I've tried using other burners, like electric burners, that you put your own pots and pans on, and then you use an incredible amount of energy just to heat up the pad before you put your pan on there. And something without a cover, you lose a lot of energy on too. So this has been one of my favorite cookers here, because it's small, it heats up fast, because there's an element right underneath it. It's got a lid. So there's not a lot of heat loss, and it gets very hot, I mentioned before. So I want to see what these look like now. Oh yeah. Can you see any of that? Oh yeah, you can see that. Might have to readjust some of these a little bit, but oh yeah. Those are hot. Ooh. Cover that back up. But doesn't have to be pretty. That's not really the point. The point is we're not using a lot of power. For a good point of reference here, if you are going to just heat up your oven, let's say your oven inside your house, to heat up an oven that size uses a whole kilowatt hour. So that'd be 1.00 on this meter here, just to heat up your oven. And we've used about a quarter of that here. We made rice, and we got hot Spam. You could do something else in there too. It doesn't have to be Spam. Really, this is a great combination for a low power meal, making some rice in an Instant Pot or maybe a rice cooker, and then another small skillet where you can make anything else. Okay, this could be chicken, this could be turkey, you could be making burritos with the rice. There's a lot of combinations you can do with this. So we're at about half of our power here, 50%. We use 0.25 kilowatt hours. That's pretty good. This unit is performing pretty close to its specs. I'd say just about right, because I believe it's like a 560 something watt. It's not quite 600. It's so this is performing just as I would expect. And if I turn the temperature down, maybe I can save a little bit more power too. Although I want to make it crispy. Oh, that looks good. Oh yeah, some of these look like they're done right now. That's for sure. But all right, I'm going to take a couple of these out here now. Let this guy get all crispy. Yeah. All right. Look at that. Ooh. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm turning that off, and I'm using the last of this heat. I'm not going to waste it. A lot of people turn off their appliances after they're done cooking and they're still hot, and you got to use that last bit of heat. Turn it off right before you're done, or I'll be wasting my battery here. Every amp is precious. Where are we at for total time? So I guess it's been almost 45 minutes now, and we've used a little over a quarter of a kilowatt hour. I'd say that's pretty good. The only thing left to do really is assemble our Musubi. Oh yeah. So those are all done. I'm going to take this off where I have a little more room, and we'll get these assembled. All right, we're gonna put our Musubi together, and I have never done this before, so I'm gonna try it out. So I'm gonna load my Spam up. Don't think it matters which direction I go, or load my rice up. Is that about right? No. Definitely need some more in there. And okay, I hope that's not too much rice, but I'm going to smash it down. Nice. Look at that. Get one of these guys over here. I just washed my hands. And then, I guess we gotta wrap it around here. How do we do this? couple of them. Get that a little bit wet. Bring it around town. Oh yeah. Lovely. Bring that up for the camera. Spam, rice, seaweed, simple. Okay. Not going to waste my time making a whole bunch of these for you. You see how that's done. But this is a nice, easy meal to make if you're out camping or lose power and you're worried about using up all your battery capacity. Because if you don't know when your power's coming back on, or let's say you have 2 or 3 days of camping to deal with and the sun's not coming out, maybe you can't recharge it like you planned, little bit of power is best. Okay, I'm going to show you the final product. They're all done here. They're looking good. Beautiful. I'm sorry I'm not going to take a bite for you, but there it is.